Hey chillers, welcome back to my channel. So it is Wednesday, which means it's spooky day. Now, I originally said that today's video was going to be reading scary Uber Lyft stories, but I couldn't find any, so I'm getting this video instead, which is reading scary haunted hospital stories. So I have a page pulled up here that's got a bunch of stories, and I have a number generator. So I'm going to figure out a number at random, and I'll do 6. So I'm going to write them down as I go. So let me get my notepad off the floor. It is covered in glitter. Generate 3. So the first story is number 3. And I'll leave a link to this website. As you know, my laptop's sitting over here. So first is 3. Alright. The man with the striped shirt is number 1. Alright. Not mine, but a fellow nurse of mine. We were talking about patients' hallucinations when he told me about this time. He was walking past the patient's room, an elderly woman with dementia, and she was chatting up a storm with someone. He asked her who she was talking to. The woman replied, "That man in black and white, in the black and white striped shirt." A while later, he went into another patient's room, with another patient with dementia's room. And that different patient asked where the man with the striped shirt had gone. That's creepy. That's creepy. Alright. Next. Generate a new number. Number 28. Okay, I'll write down 28. Alright, number 28. Where's the story? Okay. 28 doesn't have a story on it. My bad. Number 51. I think the website froze. Okay, that one doesn't have a story either. 2. God. Love how we went 3, 2. Sorry about this, chillers. This footage is not coming out good. Come on, laptop, cooperate. Now go to page 2. All these freaking ads. I swear. This is actually getting kind of annoying. So I'm gonna go to page 2 now. I mean, sweet Christ. Like the dead are leaving the hospital. Sorry about that, the website is acting stupid. I work in intensive care at a small community hospital. We have a 9-bed unit that is completely closed off from the medical floor via 2 doorways. 2 nights ago, we were all sitting at our station chatting. I'm guessing that meant to say chatting, not charting. When we all heard footsteps coming down the hall. It's a completely open unit where you can see every room from everywhere. No one was in the unit with us. CT is below us and they close at 5, unless an emergency comes in. And we only have 5 people on the 2nd floor. The 3rd is used as storage, so no one was above us. It happened 2 or 3 times. Then last night, cupboard doors kept opening and shutting in the 2 empty rooms. I finally asked my coworker what was going on, and she just told me that it usually happens after someone passes, especially if it was sudden. We had 2 codes last week that we lost, and I guess everyone has had weird stuff happening for the past couple days. Creepy. Alright, what's next? 7. The grandchild. We had a black girl about 10 in ICU that was severely injured in a car accident, lots of brain damage. She didn't die there, but was moved to another facility after weeks and weeks. After that, I know of 3 older black males in their 50s that, if they were even mildly sedated, would ask about the little black girl with the ribbon in her hair, who was sitting at the foot of their beds. One guy said she asked me how I was doing and then got up and walked away. Or walked that way while he was pointing toward the 2nd floor window. He paused, a wide-eyed look come over his face, and then he said, "But I guess she really couldn't have left the room that way, huh?" I think she was taking care of grandfatherly figures. No, that's cute, but really scary. What's next? Number 21. Don't you freeze up on me. Number 21. She said Rex, and then I saw him. I was working a night shift job as an aide caring for a lady with terminal cancer on hospice at home, as I have for years. She was starting to slip, and I woke her family, 2 girls and a DH. What's a DH? I don't know. We were all sitting around. She was pretty quiet and peaceful. All of a sudden, she looked toward the door and said, Rex, you're here for me. I'm ready and they won't let me go. I saw a shadowy figure come into the room and felt the creepiest evil spirit. I'm not normally spooked, but I was so glad when it was time for me to go home. I turned to watch this spirit, and the family was looking at me like, "What are you looking at?" The lady died later that day. A few months later, her daughter had been sick, just not well, not terminal, and they called my agency to see if I would come and stay with him at night for a few days. Hold on. A few months later, her daughter had been sick. Stay with him. Her. You meant her. Hopefully. For a few days until until he was a little stronger. They messed that up. Anyway, I stayed 2 nights. All kinds of weird paranormal stuff in that house. Voices in rooms that were empty. Sounds of people moving around when everyone was asleep, etc. I decided I didn't care how sick she was or how that much the family liked me. I was not doing another shift there. That is so creepy. Ugh. What's next? I already got that number 11. The Lingering Spirit. I'm gonna do 6 of these. We had a patient, chronic CHFer, I don't know what that means, always on the call button, hated being on fluid restrictions. You know the type. The nurses have to take turns during the shift answering the call button, so the primary can actually do other work. And this was a frequent flyer, because he was very chronic, very borderline, and the hospital was the only place he wouldn't fluid overload. I worked 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. He died at about 8 p.m. All the look on his face like, how could you let me die? Like it was our fault. Anyway, family came and gone by 9 p.m. Funeral home gone at 9:30. At about 10 p.m., the call button starts going off. I was there, call button going off every 5 minutes. One of the nurses was a very spiritual girl. At about 2 a.m., after like 4 hours of this, Nurse Mary snaps, "Enough!" She walks down to the room and practically screams into the empty room. "Mr. X, you have died. You can't be in here bothering us anymore. Move along. In the name of Jesus, I'm exorcising you from this plane of existence. Go to the light and be happy." And I kid you not, the call button stopped going off once. Going off then and there. Ooh, 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 ooh. That is beyond creepy. "Mr. X, you died. Go on to the light. Go be with your family." Or, not your family, your, I don't know, loved ones. That's really scary, though. Number 27. The Hissing Cat. I work in a cardiovascular surgical intensive care unit. We have a lot of messed up people, both physically and mentally, that come through our unit. We had a stretch of nights where each corner room of our unit is a perfect square. Reported seeing a cat walking around. Not a friendly cat either, apparently. The thing was hissing at them. The accounts were so similar to each other that we actually spent probably a half hour looking around for a cat, and then had security plan ops come look as well. No cat was ever seen or found. Two of those four patients coded the next day. Does that mean they bit the dust? Ugh. Alright, I'm gonna do one more. This will be the last one. Alright, let's see. Number 34. I got out of there. Worked at a hospital doing transport for a couple years. The transport home base was in the basement of the hospital, where all the laundry is done and supplies are also sorted there. I hated working late nights after this incident. I'll write down this number. There we go. So now I can drop this on the floor. Right. On this particular night, I was the only one in the basement when I heard whistling at the end of the hallway by the elevator. I poked my head around the corner, expecting to see my only coworker on duty that night. But there was absolutely no one there. I shrugged it off. I'm not easily spooked. Nights are slow, so I ate some snacks and hung out in the break room for a bit. The next thing I know, I hear a loud bang. I walked into the hallway and a bed is rolling down the hall, bumping into the sides. At this point, I think that my coworker is messing with me. I radio him, he says he's upstairs in the cafeteria. I still don't believe him, and I think I'll catch him in the act. I walk past the laundry room and the machines start. Pop my head in there expecting to find him, but it's completely empty. Okay, starting to get a little nervous. I walk into the laundry room and the machines completely stop. I freeze, then run out and head towards the elevator when I hear whistling again. At this point, I know I'm the only worker in the basement. As I'm standing there, I'm standing there waiting for the elevators, things start falling off the shelves down the hall. Boxes of gloves, tissues, packages of tubes. I'm literally standing there watching them fall off one by one at the opposite end of the hallway. I kid you not, my entire body broke out in goosebumps. My hair stood on end, and I had the strong gut feeling I was being watched. I was not alone. As I'm getting into the elevator, I feel what feels like someone brushing my arm. Went upstairs and found my coworker in the cafeteria. Freaked out to him. I got out of there and transferred soon after that. The creepy thing to add to it is that I usually whistle mindlessly to myself after work. It was almost as if the spirit was mimicking me. Creepiest feeling ever. And that is going to end my creepy hospital stories video. I will leave a link to this down below so you guys can go and read all the stories I've read and read whichever ones I didn't read, so you can have some surprise for yourself. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up so I know. You can click my bubble to subscribe to my channel, and my last video is right here. And oh yeah, that's where I talked about my background. Alright, I will see you guys on Thursday. Or no, excuse me, Friday. Peace out, Chillos.